If you don't support crime, if you don't support judging someone by the color of their skin, and if you believe in justice, click the subscribe button now. Because only someone who supports injustice would scroll past this. This is not just another story. It's a wake-up call, a mirror. And what it reflects might make you uncomfortable. This happened on a quiet afternoon. Jamal, a 17-year-old black teenager, sat silently on a park bench in the heart of a peaceful suburb. He wasn't causing trouble. He wasn't being loud. He wasn't bothering a soul. He was dressed in clean jeans, a collared shirt, and sneakers, nervous but hopeful. His hands rested in his lap, clutching his phone. He kept checking the time, over and over again. Today was important. He had waited years for this day. A woman, Carol, was walking her dog nearby. She glanced in his direction once, then twice. Her steps slowed. Her gaze narrowed. Carol was in her late 40s. Comfortable looking. Lived in the neighborhood for over a decade. She had seen it change and didn't like it. She'd always said she wasn't racist, but something about the way she stared at Jamal said otherwise. Her hand moved to her purse. She pulled it tighter to her side. She stopped walking altogether and stood frozen about 20 feet away, watching him. Jamal didn't notice at first. He was too busy fighting the nervousness bubbling in his chest. He wiped his palms on his pants and looked down at a folded piece of paper in his lap. A letter. Something personal. Something that mattered. Carol's eyes didn't leave him. She started whispering to herself. Her lips pursed. Her breathing changed. She reached into her purse and pulled out her phone. She dialed. Yes, I'd like to report someone suspicious in Maple Grove Park. A young black male. Yes, he's just sitting there, near the playground, watching people. It's making me uncomfortable. He looks like he doesn't belong here. Jamal's head perked up. He heard her voice. He glanced over, confused. Her eyes met his, filled with distrust, like he'd already done something wrong. Carol turned her back on him and kept speaking into the phone, lowering her voice but making no attempt to hide her concern. Within minutes, the sound of sirens pierced the quiet. A squad car pulled up near the curb. 2 officers stepped out. Carol pointed. That's him. That's the one. Jamal stood up, slowly. His face a mix of fear, confusion, and disbelief. The officers approached. One of them placed a hand near his holster. The other spoke. Son, we got a call about you. Mind telling us what you're doing here? Jamal opened his mouth to speak, but the words caught in his throat. And just like that, a quiet afternoon became a storm. Everything was about to change. The officers approached Jamal with tension in their body language. One grips his belt, the other walks with authority. Officer 1, you match the description we were given. What are you doing here? Jamal takes a small step back and raises his hands slightly. Jamal, I'm just waiting for someone. That's all. Carol folds her arms with smug certainty. Carol, I told you he looked like trouble. Just sitting there, watching the kids. I've seen enough news to know how this ends. The crowd grows. A woman starts recording with her phone. Crowd member. Why y'all harassing that boy? He ain't do nothing. Officer 2. Ma'am, please stay back. Jamal. I didn't do anything. I'm not trying to cause problems. I'm just waiting here. The first officer steps closer, voice firm but low. Officer 1. What's your name? Got ID? Jamal? Yes, sir. It's in my pocket. He moves slowly, carefully. Every motion calculated to avoid seeming threatening. The second officer eyes his hand closely as Jamal pulls out his wallet. The tension is thick. The air tight. Jamal's heart pounds in his chest. Carol. See? Look at how careful they have to be. He could have had a weapon. A man in the crowd shakes his head. Crowd member 2. This is sick. Y'all don't even know what he's doing here. Just another black kid getting profiled. Jamal stands silent now, holding his ID out. The officers look at it, then at each other. Sudden cut to a quieter moment. That morning, Jamal is in his modest bedroom, buttoning his shirt in front of a cracked mirror. His hands are shaky, but there's a faint smile on his face. He checks the time. Jamal, to himself, today's the day. In the kitchen, his mother, Tanya, cooks eggs. Her face is tired, her hair wrapped. The strength in her voice is the result of years surviving. Tanya, I know you're nervous, baby. But hold your head high. Walk proud. Don't let anyone bring you down, you hear me? Jamal? Yes, Ma. She pauses, walks over, straightens his collar. Tanya, you look just like him, you know. I hope he's ready to be the father you need. Jamal nods, unsure. Tanya, softer, be careful, Jamal. People out there, they see you before they hear you. You understand. He nods again. Cut to him walking down their rough block. Older men hanging out, kids riding bikes, sirens in the distance. He keeps walking straight, toward hope, toward someone he hasn't seen since he was a toddler. Carol's story begins. In her well-kept home, Carol brews coffee, turning off a TV news segment about a recent crime downtown. Her face is hardened. She speaks to her dog as she pours the coffee. Carol, city used to be different. Used to be safe. She's scrolling through a neighborhood Facebook group. Someone posted, strange-looking kids seen near Maple Grove. The comments are full of suspicion. Comment 1, lock your doors. Comment 2, where are the parents of these kids? Comment 3, we need to be vigilant. Carol nods. She grabs her dog's leash. Carol, to herself, gotta keep this place safe. Her son, Nathan, texts her, don't go starting something today. She ignores it. Carol truly believes she's protecting her neighborhood. To her, suspicious means unfamiliar. Unfamiliar means dangerous. As she walks into the park later and sees Jamal, she immediately feels fear. Not because he's done anything, but because he's not from here, and to her, that's enough. She believes the police are there to fix problems. She thinks she's done the right thing. She clutches her purse harder. She believes her fear is instinct. But it's not. It's years of bias, never challenged. Back in the park, she watches the officers question Jamal. Carol, thinking to herself, this is why we stay alert. Better safe than sorry. Jamal is told to sit on the curb. His legs fold under him as he lowers himself without protest. His eyes stay down. His palms rest flat on his knees. The gravel digs into his pants, but he doesn't move. Officer 1. We're waiting for confirmation on your ID. Jamal nods slightly. His phone buzzes in his pocket. He looks toward it instinctively. Officer 2. Don't move. Jamal, it's just my phone. Officer 1. I said don't move. The phone keeps ringing. The officer reaches into Jamal's pocket and pulls it out. Caller ID flashes. Dad. The officer looks at it, scoffs, and declines the call. Jamal looks up, eyebrows furrowed. Jamal, that's who I'm waiting for. Officer 2. Sure it is. The phone buzzes again. Same caller. Dad. Jamal, please, just answer it. The officers ignore him. The crowd murmurs. Crowd member. Why won't they just pick up the phone? Officer 1. We'll handle this our way. The tension simmers. Jamal looks away, jaw clenched. He's holding back tears now. Inside City Hall, the mayor is seated at a desk, going over paperwork. His assistant enters, holding a cell phone. Assistant. Sir, you need to take this. It's urgent. Mayor. I said no calls right now. Assistant. Sir, it's your son. The mayor freezes. The name hits him like a bullet. Mayor. What? Assistant. Your son is being detained by police. A park on the east side. The mayor snatches the phone. Mayor. This is Mayor Daniels. Who am I speaking to? No one answers. The line is dead. The officer had already ended the call. The mayor stands abruptly, heart pounding. His suit jacket flies from the back of his chair. Mayor. Get the car. Now. He storms past stunned staffers, tie undone, papers forgotten. Years of regret flood his mind. He wasn't going to miss this moment again. Not this time. A younger Daniels, not yet mayor, argues with Tanya in a cramped apartment. Tanya, you don't have time for us, Malcolm. You only have time for your career. Malcolm. I'm doing this for him. For us. Tanya. He needs a father, not a title. She packs bags, holding a toddler Jamal in one arm. Malcolm. Tanya, don't go. Tanya. I already did. The door slams. Malcolm stands alone. Cut to Malcolm, now Mayor Daniels, sitting alone years later, staring at a photo of Jamal at age 5. His walls filled with awards, but his heart empty. In another flashback, Malcolm visits Jamal's school, but is too late. The event is over. He watches from the car as Jamal walks home with Tanya. Back to present. Daniels in the car, face tense. Mayor, to himself, I promised I'd make today right. Back in the park, Carol stands on a bench, speaking loudly. Carol, this is exactly why we need police to stay vigilant. You let your guard down once, and everything changes. Crowd member 1. Lady, he wasn't even doing anything. Carol, he was sitting alone near a playground. You don't think that's strange? Crowd member 2. You profiled that boy. Admit it. Carol, I did what any responsible citizen would do. Crowd member 3. You called the cops on a kid. A kid. Carol, he was probably casing houses. I've seen it before. Tension rises. Woman in crowd. You saw his skin, not his actions. Carol doubles down. Carol, this is our neighborhood. We have the right to feel safe. Man in crowd. And he has the right to exist. Murmurs of agreement ripple through the crowd. People begin questioning the officers. Crowd member. He's been sitting there doing nothing for 30 minutes. Why is he still detained? Jamal stays silent. He's used to being quiet in moments like this. But now people are speaking for him. The flash of blue lights in the distance grows closer. The mayor's car screeches to a halt. All heads turn. The crowd parts. Jamal lifts his head and finally, sees someone running toward him. The man he hasn't seen in years. The man he never thought would come. The mayor's black SUV screeches to a halt in front of the park. The crowd gasps as the door swings open and the mayor steps out. His face is a storm of emotion, rage, disbelief, and years of pain all mixed into one. The officers freeze, stunned into silence. Carol's eyes widen. Her mouth goes dry. She begins to stutter, the weight of the situation crashing down on her. Mayor, why is my son in handcuffs? His voice is low, controlled, but his fists are clenched at his sides. He steps forward, his gaze cutting through the officers like a blade. The air is thick with tension. Jamal looks up, barely able to process what's happening. His father is here. After all these years, he's finally here. The officers remain silent, caught in the moment, unsure of what to say. Carol's face drains of color. Her eyes flicker between the mayor and Jamal, the reality of what she's done slowly sinking in. The crowd, which had been murmuring, now grows louder. Phones are raised. Hashtags are already appearing in real time on screens. The viral moment is unfolding before everyone's eyes. Carol tries to explain herself, her voice trembling. Carol, I didn't know he was your son. Mayor, cutting her off, voice cold, so, if he wasn't my son, this would be okay? There's a heavy pause. The words hang in the air like a punch. The crowd erupts in outrage. Some people start shouting at her. Others whisper among themselves. Crowd member 1. You can't just assume that. Crowd member 2. He's just a kid. A kid. Crowd member 3. You're a racist. The officers start to shift uncomfortably, exchanging glances. The realization hits them all at once. They've made a massive mistake. The truth that this was never about Jamal's actions, but his skin, has hit home for everyone present. Officer 1. We need to release him. Officer 2. Now. The handcuffs are removed, and Jamal stands up slowly, still overwhelmed by the unfolding chaos. The mayor steps forward, addressing the officers with authority. Mayor, you've just made a grave error in judgment. I will personally see to it that your actions are reviewed. The officers remain silent, their faces red with shame. The crowd's voices swell, the collective outrage against Carol's callousness and the officer's overreaction growing louder. The mayor approaches Jamal, who is standing by the curb, still trying to make sense of everything that's happening. Tears silently run down his face as he looks up at the man before him. The mayor's expression softens. He kneels in front of Jamal, taking a moment to breathe before speaking. "Mayor," softly with emotion, "Jamal, I'm so sorry." Jamal looks away, his hands shaking. "Mayor, I never meant for you to grow up like this without me." The flashbacks begin again, this time showing young Jamal sitting in front of a drawing board, creating pictures with "Daddy" written at the top of each one. His tiny hand draws a smiley face next to a house with a little stick figure, his father standing beside him. "Mayor," continuing, "you've grown into someone I'm proud of. You're strong, and you've fought for every step of your life. I should have been there, Jamal. I should have." Tears begin to spill from Jamal's eyes. He looks at the mayor, his father, the man he's been waiting for his whole life. "Jamal," choked up, "you said you'd come back. You said you'd be here. Why didn't you?" The mayor's eyes fill with regret. "Mayor, I was selfish. I thought I could fix everything with my career. But I lost you in the process." The process. They sit in silence for a moment, the weight of their years apart settling between them. The noise of the crowd fades into the background, and it's just the two of them, father and son, finally face to face. "Jamal, I thought you forgot about me." "Mayor, I never forgot you. I've carried you with me every day." They embrace for the first time in years. The crowd watches, some people wiping their eyes, moved by the raw emotion unfolding before them. Jamal holds on tight, feeling the warmth of his father's arms around him, finally giving him the comfort and love he's longed for. The cameras continue to roll, capturing every moment of this emotional reconciliation. But for Jamal and the mayor, this is a private moment, one they'll carry with them for the rest of their lives. As the scene ends, there's a sense of resolution. Justice, in its own imperfect way, has been served, and the truth has come to light, not just for Jamal and the mayor, but for everyone who witnessed it. The aftermath of the park incident quickly spirals for Carol. As the story continues to dominate social media, her name becomes synonymous with the public's outrage. News outlets air interviews with people who witnessed the event, many of whom share their condemnation of her actions. Her once stable reputation in the community is shattered. Carol's phone buzzes constantly, with notifications flooding in. The onslaught of hateful comments and criticism is relentless. She's called every name in the book, from racist to ignorant. The public perception of her as a well-meaning, concerned citizen crumbles. Her involvement in a local neighborhood watch group, once seen as a respectable position, is revoked. The board issues a public statement. "We do not condone discriminatory actions of any kind. Carol is no longer part of our group." The loss of her position and the complete erosion of her social standing in the community leave her isolated. She retreats into herself, unable to escape the echoing judgment of her actions. Her friends and acquaintances, once eager to offer support, distance themselves. She is left to confront the damage she has caused. In the quiet of her home, Carol attempts to offer a public apology on social media. She records a video, her voice shaky, attempting to explain herself. "Carol, in the video, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I didn't understand. I made a mistake, and I see now how wrong I was. I didn't mean to hurt anyone." The video receives a mixed response. Some people demand accountability, claiming her apology is insufficient. Others claim it's too little, too late, while some offer grace, hoping she can grow from the experience. But Carol's journey is just beginning. Over the next few weeks, she starts to reflect on her own biases and privileges. The sting of public shame gradually turns into an awakening. In a search for redemption, Carol begins volunteering at local community centers in predominantly Black neighborhoods. She spends time talking to parents, listening to children, and hearing stories of racial injustice that she had been blind to before. She even begins to attend diversity workshops, hoping to educate herself and contribute to making amends. But despite her efforts, the shadow of her past mistakes remains. Carol realizes that true change doesn't come from seeking forgiveness from others. It comes from a deep internal transformation, one that will take time to develop. Meanwhile, the story of Jamal's wrongful detainment goes viral. News outlets, both local and national, air stories about the incident, highlighting the emotional twist and the mayor's role in rescuing his son. The narrative becomes a flashpoint for discussions around racial profiling, police brutality, and systemic injustice. A news crew arrives at Jamal's house to interview him and the mayor. The camera's roll as Jamal and the mayor sit side by side, answering questions about the impact of the incident. Jamal, now a local hero, speaks with a maturity beyond his years. The mayor, proud yet deeply saddened by the entire ordeal, nods in agreement with his son's words. Reporter: Jamal, how do you feel now that this has all been exposed? The world knows your story. Jamal, with resolve: I don't want an apology. I want change. His voice cracks as he says the words, but his determination is palpable. The emotion in his eyes speaks volumes. This is not just about one event. It's about every Black child who has been unjustly treated, every person who has suffered under the weight of bias, and every moment where injustice has gone unchecked. Jamal, continuing: this is bigger than me. This is about every person who's been hurt. We need change in how we see each other, in how we treat each other. The color of my skin shouldn't determine how I'm treated. His words hit hard. The news anchor visibly chokes up, and viewers at home are left in a reflective silence. The moment resonates deeply, sparking conversations nationwide. People share the clip online, debating and discussing the true meaning of justice and equity. Jamal's call for change becomes a rallying cry, a beacon of hope for those fighting against the system. In the wake of the media storm, life slowly begins to stabilize for Jamal and the mayor. They start spending more time together, and the bond between father and son, long strained by years of separation, begins to heal. The mayor takes Jamal under his wing, mentoring him in ways he had always wished he could. They have quiet dinners together, often sharing their dreams for the future. The mayor takes him to City Hall, introducing him to colleagues and showing him the impact of their work in the community. Then, one day, Jamal receives an unexpected phone call. It's a scholarship offer from a prestigious college, one he had dreamed about but never believed he could attain. The scholarship, which was awarded based on both academic performance and his growing activism, offers him the opportunity to leave his community and further his education. It's a defining moment for Jamal, one that signifies a new chapter in his life. Jamal on the phone, stunned: are you sure? This is real. Scholarship officer, laughing: yes, Jamal. You've earned it. We want you to be part of our future. Tears fill Jamal's eyes as he thanks the officer. It's a victory, not just for him, but for his family, for his community, and for everyone who has fought to be seen as more than a stereotype. Meanwhile, Carol, in an attempt to continue her own journey of change, writes a letter to Jamal's mother. She wants to apologize in a more personal way, hoping that she can somehow make amends for her past actions. Carol, writing: I see now what I refused to see before. I failed you and your son. I was blind to the hurt I caused. I don't expect forgiveness, but I want you to know that I am trying to change. I am sorry for what I did, and I hope, in time, you can see that I am working to be a better person. It's unclear whether the letter will reach its intended recipient in the way Carol hopes, but it represents her attempt to heal the wounds she helped inflict. As the act closes, the camera pans out on Jamal, smiling at the scholarship offer, the promise of his future glimmering ahead. And next to him, the mayor, standing tall as the father he always wished he could be. The road to healing is long, but it has begun. What would you have done if you saw Jamal on that bench? Would you have sat next to him or called the police? The question hangs in the air, echoing in the silence that follows. This isn't just a story, it's a mirror. A mirror that reflects the choices we make, the biases we carry, and the impact of our actions. A mirror that holds up a truth we can't ignore, no matter how uncomfortable it may be. If you believe in justice, humanity, and love, don't just watch. Share the story. Share it with those who need to see it, those who need to hear it. Share it because these stories shape the world we live in. Share it because we are all a part of this, and change starts with us. And if you haven't subscribed already, ask yourself, why not? This isn't just about a video. It's about standing for what's right. It's about amplifying the voices that need to be heard. So, if you're ready to be part of that change, hit that subscribe button.